Good afternoon. It's Friday, December the 25th, back in the Mutant Nook. It's cold and chilly and bright. I've got a few more packages to unbox, probably the last few of the year. So I'm going to start off with, this one from my friend Scott Jost in California. Thank you, Scott. Also known as Orcus Dorcas. So I don't know what this is, so let's find out. See if I can get the knife and slide it open. So just take. There we go. Right. So. Okay. Little note from Scott. Pookie, hope you don't have either of these yet. Enjoy. I don't know what these are. So we have Crypt of the Science Wizard. Okay. If they all died, how did you hear the story? Welcome, brave adventurers, back to the time of exploration where brains are more important than brawn and courage wins the day. Challenge yourself against the Crypt of the Science Wizard and discover if you have what it takes to emerge as a hero or escape at all. For out in the blood plains of Esh lies an oasis, humble and unassuming, with secrets. What secrets does it hide in its depths? The tomb of a forsaken lich, a hidden laboratory promising secrets of science and technology forgotten by the ages, an entrance to the vast black tower swallowed by the will and fear of the gods. Only the hardiest may survive to tell the tales. It all starts with a map, recovered from a madman who survived. Okay, so Crypt of the Science Wizard is a site-based adventure designed for use with Dungeon Crawl Classic and Mutant Crawl Classic rule sets for characters of any level, players of all ages. So no, Scott, I don't have this one. And what you've got inside is, I'm presuming that that's the map. You've got a book of basically illustrations to show the player characters, and that's very old school, like Tomb of Horrors and the special series of adventures. This is published by Skeeter Green Productions, and I should be interested to see what this is all about. The thing is, there's a huge a community built up around the Gubbin Games, Dungeon Crawl Classics, and Mutant Crawl Classics, and they produce a lot of content themselves. It's quite nice. Going through, sort of, we've got. Let's just put that down. There's a Blood Plains of Esh. There's the map. Decent couple of bits of artwork. And basically, it's an oasis. You've got basically it's a desert adventure. And more. Again, basically new monsters and new magic items as well, such as the amphora of Leo Campoi. Whatever that is, I'll find out when I dig into it at some point. And also at the end of the book, in addition, you've got larger versions of the illustrations there. So this is kind of like a science fiction, science fantasy stroke adventure, which you can use for either a role-playing game set. I'd be interested to. I will dig into this at some point. That looks interesting. And the other thing is, let's have a look. Oh wow! Okay, so wow. This is Scientific Barbarian. And this is from Mudpuppy Games. It came out in basically kickstarted last year, or earlier this year, and came out in sort of like during the autumn. And it's a post-apocalyptic role-playing magazine. And unfortunately, if you're outside the US or North America, you couldn't get hold of it. And so this is something I was really after, or I was interested to get. This is essentially we've got like a fanzine, and what you've got in here is lots of things for your Mutant Crawl Classics game. Mutant Crawl Classics being essentially the role-playing game, which is best described as essentially the heir to Gamma World. You have it's actually edited by and published by the author of Mutant Crawl Classics, so he gives you his bunker briefings here. Then we go into Apocalyptic Visions by Tim Kask, Ecology of the Crater Mutant. So you've got more artwork there. I'm going to Sable Rangers, security automatons for basic law enforcement. So you're kind of doing that Brave Star sort of cartoon sort of thing with the robot horse. You've got like basically you've got a bookmark with a table full of mini mutations there. So yeah, I am looking forward to reading this. I'm going to go on to Glowing Good Looks Good by James M. Ward. So I mean, with Tim Kask there, James M. Ward, who created Metamorphosis Alpha, the precursor to Gamma World. You've got essentially the you've got sort of like a really old school feel, which you know, the sort of like the Dungeon Crawl Classics and the Mutant Crawl Classics audience will appreciate. Jim Wampler's adventure in here is the Gene Looms of Janek Vec. So there we go, and that's for levels 3 to 4. And in general, all the problems with sort of like there aren't quite enough adventures, I suppose, for Mutant Crawl Classics. Certainly not beyond sort of like first and second level, and the whole character funnel thing. So it's always good to have more. And a lovely bit of artwork here. Snotstripe bravely loses touch with his inner badger. Just show you that there. And we've got genetic monsters, like the bat slug. I mean, the great thing about the post-apocalyptic genre is that you can mash up sort of like different creatures and so on, and and they work together because they don't have to make a huge amount of sense. You've got more monsters, creature cryptology at the end, like the Barterer, and so on. The ICAP, basically, which is essentially nice play upon sort of like the classic mushroom kind of style monster, which kind of you get a lot of in the old school Renaissance, with their mushroom men and so on. Nice couple of reviews. Another review here, basically into essentially the genre of which really kind of fits of the post-apocalyptic series, which is Commandy, The Last Boy on Earth, drawn by Jack Kirby, and they're also, if you can find them, basically the Commandies, they've been reprinted, and there's been a recent collection, a 12-part series in the last couple of years or so that DC Comics did as well. It's DC. DC. And then we could basically end it with a couple of comics. So Scientific Comics, basically from Tales, Knights of the Dinner Table, and Onto the Wasteland. There. Okay, so coming next issue, Scientific Barbarian No. 2, Dr. Tempesaur, a time-travelling lizard patron deity for all classes. Brilliant. But that's Scientific Barbarian, Ecology of the Crazy Mutant, Sable, Mutant Maladies and so on, Post-Apocalyptic Roleplaying Megazine. That's really great. It would be great if Mudpuppy Games would kind of make this more available outside of the US, but there you have it. One of the hopes is that if we have more gaming conventions on this country, especially UK Game Expo, Goodman Games will be back, because they were here, obviously not this year, but last year, and that was fantastic, because it was great to have, you know, just the Goodman Games stall there, just be able to see it, because if you go to the States and you go to Gen Con, their stall's packed with amazing stuff, and they brought back over just a tiny bit of it, but all good stuff. So that's a couple of things, essentially. Scientific Barbarian number 1. Thank you, Scott, and also thank you for Crypt of the Science Wizard. I'm looking forward to digging into these. This is going to be really interesting to read and review. Yeah, thank you very much. So, thank you for watching another unboxing in the Nook. Please click like below if that's how you feel. Add a comment, I will respond. And if you even like it even more, please subscribe, and there will be more unboxings in the Nook in the future. Bye for now.